Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live for the final match of the night. Super Saturday, the last semifinal of the men's pro doubles for the IRT. I am Fabio Soto with our guest of honor tonight here at the booth, Mr. Bobby Horn. Bobby, welcome and thank you for being here at the booth.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad I was finally able to hop on today.
Perfect. You know what? You've seen a lot of action yourself here throughout this weekend. You know, what do you expect about this match? I mean, you got Javier Mar, Rodrigo Montoya, the current world champions, versus Sebastián Fernandez and Andre Parrilla. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I would assume that Mar and Montoya are going to kind of handle business here, but, you know, with that being said, we all just got to see Andre really handle business today, and he's very consistent. I think a lot of this will have to do with how Fernandez is doing today with his game and how he approaches this doubles match. There's a big factor on whether or not they can stay competitive.
I agree. Point number one here for Fernandez and Parrilla. Looks
broken
like
strings.
Broken strings right now. A change of racket for Fernandez. So, Bobby, tell us, regarding the last match, the winner of this match will take on Conrado Moscoso and Roland Keller. You know, does that mindset, play an effect here in this match about, that outcome? Because, of course, Andre Parrilla defeated Daniel De La Rosa in singles. Now Daniel's out in doubles as well. Does that affect the mindset of these gentlemen? Are they going to play a little bit more relaxed, more fast-paced? What are your thoughts?
No, I think as far as this match goes, unless someone I guess the only way that would be in their mind who they're going to play next is if it was a weaker team, and that's kind of the only time it would ever happen. And even that, I don't think that's really a factor at all here. They're just really focused on the task at hand here. They're not really focused about anybody else but their opponent. So irrelevant who is on the other side, I think they just need to get past this round, and that's how most athletes approach it.
Ooh, Andre.
Good start.
Great start for Andre and Sebastián. Andre with the take no prisoners attitude.
Oh, man.
Again, and we were talking about this, Bobby, before. One of the things that we saw Andre do that performed well during the semifinal with De La Rosa, he was being very consistent. He was just not making mistakes as many as, at least as Daniel made. And you saw that with the numbers. He was just killing the ball.
Yeah, and I played against him and watched him play so many times. That's kind of his game style. He doesn't really have too many ups and downs, consistent. And you have to stay very solid the whole time. And as we see here, Montoya and Mar get on the board here, one serving three. It's pretty good.
Great shot there by Rodrigo Montoya. Obviously, his backhand is one of the most powerful weapons. So in terms of leadership, we were talking about how this new and fresh team of Andre Parrilla and Sebastián Fernandez, they played their first tournament ever in Sarasota just a little bit over a month ago, and they defeated De La Rosa and Beltran. So this is their second tournament. What are your thoughts on that team?
Yeah, I think it's a great combo. I think the power of Fernandez with the combo of Andre's touch and control and experience is really good. And I think it's also good for Sebastian to have someone that kind of look up to. Andre's a little older, a little more seasoned, and he keeps him really in check mentally. So I really like that team a lot, even though at some point I'm going to have to play them. That's too good.
Andre right there.
Mar and Montoya look a little flat-footed early on here for me, just at first glance, and they just look a little relaxed, maybe a little overconfident. I don't know. We'll see.
So in terms of power, Fernandez or Mar, who hits the ball harder?
Oh, I think in this case here, I think Fernandez probably hits the ball harder than everybody on the court. That doesn't necessarily mean much in doubles. As you can see, the last match, Alvaro doesn't hit the ball necessarily super hard, but he's very influential within a match. So I think Sebastian is a hefty boy or a hefty man now. He's not a boy anymore, and he crushes the ball as hard as anybody when he wants to.
Not to quote Brian Pineda, but he says the Hulk who won't turn green.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Out of those two gentlemen, Fernandez and Mar, I agree with you. I mean, Fernandez hits the ball harder, but Mar hits it with a little bit more control.
Correct,
more
yeah.
finesse.
And I think a lot of a good point to that is that Mar has more hands, right? Mar has the best hands on the court, and that's saying something because Parrilla's no slouch himself. I mean, Mar's able to take these compact swings and still hit the ball very hard, whereas Sebastian has that big, long swing. As we see here, he sprays one off, but there we go right there. Right, nice short, compact swing. Has opponents behind him. It's a perfect pinch to win the rally there. It's different style of power.
So referee calling 4-4, game number 1. Wow, Fernandez is just controlling the ball really well.
I've always been a big fan of his game and how he plays. He just really has to kind of settle into how he wants to play in the Exhibit A here. That's just so good. It's a great cover.
Great assist
so
right there.
Good.
Wow. Great hands there by Montoya. Reset by Andre.
I think one very common mistake that people do when they're playing Mar is because he plays so far forward, you want to attack him a little bit. What you don't understand is he can be standing 2 feet from the front wall, and he still can get the ball to the front wall. So I would flirt more with trying to play that hands game with Montoya versus Mar. Mar's
He's
top
good.
3 in the world in the front court. So
I agree with you. It's a good shot right there, Montoya. So we're at 5-7 now. Score's coming a little quick. Game's moving fast-paced.
Wow,
Montoya. A healthier Montoya. He was injured a few weeks ago still.
he had a torn pec.
Torn pectoral right muscle. So he was doing backhands, but he wasn't doing forehands.
Yes.
So I don't know if you remember back in those tournaments, for example, in Chicago, in the IRT Pro Stop, they were playing doubles, and Mar was hitting Rodrigo's forehands as well.
In the middle of the court, yeah. And I talked to Montoya a little bit at the Open, and it was still bothering him. I believe it was pretty bad. So we've seen him play a lot of doubles lately and still able to have success as they won the World Championships recently as well. With that.
They actually did not play the last 2 Pro Stops because they wanted to focus on World Championships. They didn't play Sarasota. They didn't play Phoenix.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should. Playing for their country is a huge privilege, and it looks like they made the most of it. See, there's another example right there. Nice.
Wow.
There's another example of Parrilla's winning the hands battle with Montoya there, and then tries to test Mar, and he's just so good at getting back to the ball. It's just amazing to watch him play that kind of ping pong in the front court. Replay, I believe.
Replay was called?
Should be.
I didn't see the referee in his gesture.
Oh, sprayed ball.
Great coverage there by Patata.
Nice get.
Now switching of sides. Fernandez to the left. Andre to the right. Wow. That's a skip shot called.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looked like a skip ball, but I wasn't sure what Charlie called there.
8-7 called skip.
Good call by Charlie Pratt, who's been very, very good all night.
He has been. Except
the one call against Alvaro, and I hope he watches and sees this. That was his one missed call I've seen all day. For those of you who are watching at home, you can go ahead and tag Alvaro Beltran. I'm sure he'd love that right now.
Wow, great pass right there by Fernandez. We'll take this opportunity to say the International Racquetball Tour would like to thank all the players that participate in any sanctioned event. The tour will also like to thank all the fans watching all at home, those who are lucky enough to make it to one of our events. Special thanks go to Donald Williams, Chad Bailey, Robbie Lyons, and the entire staff here at the Recreation ATL. Wow. From the back, Mar. You said it yourself. Good hands.
Don't test that man in the front court. I'm telling you right now. I've played him plenty as well, and He's just tough to get the ball by. He's a big dude too. Wow, that's good.
He's over 6 feet tall, and I mean, I've seen him play since he was a young junior player, and you knew from back in that day that he had future playing.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, for sure. It's crazy because people don't necessarily see him as a huge guy. And to put it in perspective, anybody at home has been around Jake Bredenbeck, for example. That's a good rally that we have here. Oh, nice shot.
Whoa. Here we go.
Oh, what a get. Oh, no.
Wow, Andre Parrilla just missing a shot right there, skipping the ball.
And you won't see Andre miss many shots like
No.
that. He's usually very, very consistent. As I was saying before, Mars is big as Jake Bredenbeck. They sit next to each other, and they're the same size. So Mars just doesn't stand around and walk around like he's as big as he is. He's a big dude. So very hard to get the ball past him.
But he's a gentle giant, though.
100%. And he plays more of a finesse game, right? Because he plays – that's a beautiful shot in the right corner there. He plays more of that finesse-style game versus like a Jake Bredenbeck. Or even like a Sam Murray's about as big as those guys as well. And they hit the ball very hard, big swings, where Mars very compact, as we talked about earlier. Oh, and the drive should have been busted out.
Sam Murray, big Canada with Jake Bredenbeck. They look like a couple Vikings. Every time they pass by at a club, I feel like I need to sacrifice a lamb or something. Mar.
8 serving 9.
9-9.
9-9, excuse me.
Call for the referee. I got to say, big 9-9. Really good for Fernandez and Parrilla.
Parrilla has to do a better job returning that serve.
Ooh.
Good replay. Montoya's hitting that serve off the back wall. Parrilla has to hit a better quality second shot there. Those are missed opportunities, especially when the match is at 9-9. You have to convert on the setups. It's better quality serve. Read no call by the ref.
Wow, what a great mix-up right there. You know what, I got to hand it to Fernandez. He handled himself well in front of the court when there was a little bit of confusing times. Oh, here we go. There's an appeal.
Ooh, I think we got a 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah.
Which means call stands. I think they were appealing a hinder there. And I'm still waiting for the call here. And we'll get a I'm not exactly sure what the call is. I believe Montoya appealed the hinder, and it did not. It stood.
We're still at 9-9. Parrilla, remember, is the first server.
Wow.
Wow, Fernandez just pummeled it.
And Fernandez doesn't look like he swings hard, but he hits the ball a ton. Very smooth mechanics, very clean.
Oh, what he has is
that's ball skipped.
That's a skip shot.
Oh,
it's
my goodness.
Called good.
Okay,
let's call good. I don't see no appeals from
no appeals.
Parrilla Fernandez, so call stands. But yeah, you know, the flick of the wrist, just the strength that, you know, Fernandez has in those short shots where he can't swing, it's just really impressive.
Set up for. Oh, and Montoya missing the easy shot.
Wow, Montoya making a mistake right there. Pretty rare on his part.
Also helps that Fernandez is also built like a brick house.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming down. Straight into the ground. Unforced error from Montoya there. Not a good time for unforced errors when you're down 9-12 either. It's just not necessary.
Just remember, they were 9-9, 3 straight points here from Fernandez and Parrilla.
Wow.
Well, that's the way to clean it up.
Set up. Oh my goodness.
That's great camera work first from a producer. And Patata just, you know, he showed us how to do it.
Flatten that thing out from shoulder high. Good cover.
shot. Montoya. So 9 serving 12 now on the head pen scoreboard.
Interesting to see the changeup of serve here from Montoya. He's served quite a variety already in this match, which is not necessarily what he does often. Just shows how much experience he's had in a few years, and right away he gets an easy point for 10 serving 12.
Oh, it's 11-12.
11. A little delayed on the scoreboard. Apologies.
I love those mid lobs to the center when you're playing doubles. Oh.
And Charlie calling the avoidable. Great call. Yep. That's the right call.
I agree. I agree with Pratt.
And that's a safety thing too. That's just not just because they hit it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad call, right? They're going to probably appeal it. But the situation there is if Charlie doesn't start stopping that early on while they're on the ground, it's a safety issue. All right.
No, I agree with the call of the referee. I think it wasn't avoidable. Let's see if they're appealing it though.
I also wouldn't be okay with him letting them play there too, just because he did play the shot, which makes it more entertaining for myself. But that's just me selfishly thinking there.
12 serving 11 now. Very close. Can't say I was in love with that serve from Andre Parrilla. You know, that doesn't want to test Montoya's backhand that much. Wow. On his knees.
I'm really impressed. I actually have not seen Fernandez play too much doubles. I watched a little bit of the last tournament they played together, but you can see the Alvaro influence in his game when it comes to doubles on the right side.
They've been sparring together for a while now. It's been months, really. I would say years, but I would say...
Not to mention he's idolized Alvaro growing up, like all of us.
Yeah, and you know what? They spar together a lot. They go to the same club.
Oh, that's going to be an avoidable. Easy call.
It is. Unfortunate for Fernandez. I think that was, I don't know if you agree with this one, Bobby, but Fernandez needs to pay a little bit more attention to tracking that ball. You track that ball, you get out of the way.
Yeah, and I think he assumed that was going to be a volley.
Yep.
Let the ball go. And good play by Mar. Really sell that call. Set up for Patata. Oh, made it. Great get.
Kept alive. What was that? Went out.
A little bit of sporadic play from the right side. Right as I tell everybody, he has a little influence of Alvaro. He goes non-Alvaro and is a little sporadic versus consistent there. Just make consistent play. Obviously having to cover a little bit too, so that makes it a little difficult. But now we're at 13-13, I believe. We'll get the score for you guys right now.
See what the referee says.
Good. 13-13, ladies and gentlemen.
You're right, Bobby. It's 13-13, so 2 points away for both of these teams.
Oh my God.
Again, great camera work.
That's
our producer is a person who sees the future.
I'm just going to say that's above average, guys.
Yep.
Above average. Again, we see a little bit of variety from Montoya.
I got to love that.
It's probably served down the middle, you would think. And I think Patata definitely should appeal this. I thought that ball skipped as well. But, yeah, I thought that ball skipped, and there was a no call there. I think that's what Patata's asking. See if we can hear him. Yeah.
It's an appeal.
For a skip ball. I think the call stands. I thought the ball skipped too off the rally. I didn't want to say so because I didn't want to sound dumb. But I think that ball skipped very early, and I think it's 14 serving 13. Game point number 1 for Mara Montoya. After being down a couple times and big in this game, they're finding themselves with their first game point.
Ooh.
Good get.
Skip ball right there. That's game number 1. 15-13, Mar and Montoya or Fernandez and Parrilla. And as they take a break between games, we will too. And we'll be back here on IRT Live.
IRYDF helped us a lot with almost every tournament with the hotel. That it's one of the expenses. Without them, I don't think I could go to every tournament to play. Well, I love racquetball and I want to be the best. I want to be one of the youngest players to ever win a title or the US Open.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again from Lilburn, Georgia, 2022 Suivant Consulting Pro-Am Grand Slam. Please scan the QR code on the screen, download the updated program so you can see many, many details, news, and all information regarding this spectacular Grand Slam event, the first one of 2022. I want to thank everybody for watching on their phones, at home, at work, in your living room, wherever you are. Thank you very much for watching. Please like our post, share our feed, follow us on social media. The final match of Super Saturday, game number 2 between Javier Mar, Rodrigo Montoya, the current IRF World Doubles Champions, versus Sebastián Fernandez and André Parrilla. An all-Mexican semifinal in the men's doubles.
Yeah.
So André Parrilla.
It doesn't surprise me. We've seen quite a bit of the Mexican teams in the semis and finals lately. Be nice to see some Americans in there, but we have to play. So, how many Americans do we have in this tournament? We have 3, maybe. 3 guys that are touring full time here. Rocky,
so you
Thomas, Jake.
Played
with,
4. You played with Robbie Collins.
Yeah. And Robbie.
Bredenbeck's, the Bredenbeck brothers played as well.
I don't count myself as touring full time right now. I think Robbie.
But
Sam,
you were in this event.
I was in this event. Yeah.
You were in this event.
Like 50-50.
Then you got Rocky and Charlie.
Rocky, Charlie, Thomas.
There you
the
go.
Bredenbecks, Robbie Collins.
There you go.
Yeah. What's going on, guys?
All right, here we go.
0-0.
Sebastián Fernandez, 0-0. Kept alive. Switching of sides, Mar.
Wow, what a get.
Wow. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This was
we're going to have an early appeal here.
This is just 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0. Great rally. Maybe no appeal. Smart no appeal.
From my vantage point, it seemed that Rodrigo's shot was good.
Yep, I thought so too. I don't think Parrilla thought the same though. I think he was ready to appeal that, and I think it's 0-0, so it's not a good time to use that.
No, not a good time. Those kind of appeals, Bobby, sometimes come back to haunt you later on.
Yeah, they can really bite you in the butt later on in the match
yeah.
if you don't have that appeal later on in an important moment.
1 serving 0 in the headband scoreboard as Mar and Montoya draw first blood here.
Yeah, and as good a start as Parrilla and Fernandez got in that first game, I don't like how they ended it.
No.
And you can see Mara and Montoya aren't as flat-footed as I mentioned in game one, and I really don't like where this match is going in the beginning of the second game right off the bat.
Wow.
Beautiful shot.
Great shot by Parrilla, just cutting it as much as he could. Ball down. 2-0 still in the headpin scoreboard.
He's one of the best at fading away while he hits a shot. Very Steph Curry-ish.
Ooh.
Skip
shot called right there. I want to remind everybody, Headpen is not only the scoreboard sponsor of the IRT, they're not just the official sponsor of the IRT. War USA on the LPRT. Headpen is the industry leader in all things racquetball. Check them out today at head.com/racquetball. 0-2 in the Headpen scoreboard. Montoya. Skip shot right there.
It's just not necessary to go for a roll out there. Like
No.
like Mara and Montoya are sitting in between the dotted line and the short line. Hit a pass, get him farther back, and then go for that pinch. But Parrilla is so confident in it. It's just so hard to execute. These guys get every ball. They're just so good at covering. You have to work them back and then get the shot. Followed by a perfect Montoya backhand.
So we talk a lot about offense, Bobby. You talk about who's the strongest, who's the better, front man, back man. So now let's talk about defense. People in this court right now, whose racquetball defense do you like best?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking in general, or are we talking about this match? In general, I love this team right here. This is probably my favorite team defensively, just because Montoya's get ability and able to get his ability to go get balls all over the court is unreal. And then Mar's hands. I mean, as we see there, he makes a diving rollout pinch there. So he's probably my favorite. Daniel De La Rosa's get ability and defense is special. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's playing pickleball now. And he has this nice little touch. His backhand ceiling balls are money, and he doesn't try to force the issue. So those are probably like my 3 favorite defensive players as far as doubles goes. Parrilla, obviously, that's about it. I mean, I talk about his defensive skills and his hands as he flat rolls a forehand from 39 feet. And now we're at the 5-0, 6-0, excuse me. A little delayed on my scoreboard, or just me watching it, if I'm being completely honest.
That's a skip right there by Montoya. One of the players that I like defensively, I've mentioned it before on the broadcast, Sam Murray. I like his defense. His defense is really, really awesome. And for a big guy that he is, his defense is just uncanny.
Yeah, his hands are unbelievable. The one thing about Murray that is the most impressive is his ability to re-pinch hands on his backhand side especially. I don't think there's anybody in the world that hits the backhand necessarily with hands like he does.
Wow. Mar, speaking of hands.
And I'll say it, he's probably has the best hands in doubles in my opinion.
I agree with you.
I don't see anybody that has that kind of hands from that close to the front wall. I just don't see it personally. Those of you at home think I'm wrong.
There you go.
Throw it in the comments. I'll read them later. If you have not liked and shared the post of this match, please do now. If you enjoy even a second of this gameplay.
Yeah, like our post, share our feed, keep following us on social media. Fernandez. It's a great match to share. Remember, this is the last match of Super Saturday.
Now I'll ask you a question here, since we'll flip the thing. Who do you think competes better against Moscoso and Keller tomorrow? What's the better match?
Oh, I have to go with statistics. I have to go with Mar Montoya. I have to go with statistics. However, I would be more intrigued if it were Parrilla and Fernandez to see how they handled them. That's what I would like to see, definitely.
Yeah, so Moscoso and Keller played Mara Montoya at the World Championship, so I guess that would be a pretty entertaining match to watch. A rematch, right? A little grudge match.
True.
I'm
That
sure
was a final.
Keller and Moscoso are literally licking their chops to get a chance at those guys again and get a rematch, as we have our first timeout and our only timeout of the second game.
So 8-0. A timeout is called by Parrilla and Fernandez. As they take a timeout, we'll take a short break ourselves, and we'll be back on IRT Live.
I love Racquetball. So if you ever out there looking for me, then you will know where to find me.
Got a good rally going here.
Good serve, De La Rosa. Gets it in, ladies and gentlemen.
But if I'm not here, then I will probably be at home in my office, trying to figure out how to run my new business. The good thing is that the team Willis Accounting and Consulting got my back. With their help, running a business doesn't feel so difficult anymore. Contact Willis Accounting and Consulting today. They will take care of your business while you go back to the things that you love the most.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this.
Welcome back, everyone. Game number 2.
And it's a quick side out after that timeout.
Yep.
Good timeout and stop the bleeding, hopefully, as they're down 0 serving 9. They're going to need I wouldn't say a miracle, they're going to need some serious work here to come back in game 2.
I mean, they lost 13-15 the first one, which is fantastic. Right now, they have a big mountain to climb, no doubt about it.
You have to think about that, too. In game 1, they were up pretty big.
Yeah.
Like 2 times they're up, and I mean big meaning a few points here. It's a little deflating when you're up big and you end up losing a game. There's a mental battle you have inside your head as a player that is tough to kind of overcome going into game 2. So this is a good start to maybe a comeback, but they're having to battle some game 1 woes, you could say.
Wow, great coverage there by Montoya. Assist there for his partner. Changing of sides.
It's going to be a hinder after a great rally. It kind of sucks to end that way.
And you know, even though they lost the first game, I remember one of many quotes that I personally heard from the great Dave Ellis, who I call the Yoda of racquetball. Mr. Dave Ellis, he said, you know, it doesn't matter if you're down, you know, 1 game down, you still got to win 2.
Correct.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard that a couple times growing up there, so oh my goodness.
Wow. Speaking of hands right there.
And obviously I'm doing a bunch of coaching myself now with a lot of amateurs, and you see something from Mar there that none of us teach is he has his racket low and the top of his racket's almost on the ground there. He's able to push that down the line, and he's really, really good at it. I wouldn't suggest trying it at home, but that's very exceptional to be able to hit that pinch.
Well, you got to try with some adult supervision, though.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I kind of want to see Montoya get aggressive there. It's too good.
Wow, Andre Parrilla was just waiting for that one.
5 serving 9.
Wow. Court location, allocation. Sebastian Fernandez just got a little bit ahead of himself.
And it's very similar to the shot that we saw from Mar there, right? The same kind of push pinch, but Mar's able to execute that where Sebastian kind of decelerates his racket, doesn't really get it to the front wall, and dumps it into the ground.
Would you say that his follow-through is not as compelling?
I would just say it's hard to say follow-through when you watch Mar do stuff, and we have a great exchange there in the front court.
Ooh, plum. Setup.
Oh, and he skipped it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. It looks like it was a good shot. Great rally. Wow, what a hit. Oh no, Mark kind of lost himself. It was a great rally. And coming back to our point there, talking about the hand shot, I think the big word that I'm going to use here, and I use it a lot with the athletes that I'm working with, and for my own game as well, is acceleration through the ball, right? It doesn't necessarily have to have big follow through or a big swing. It's making sure your racket doesn't start decelerating through impact. If you decelerate it, you're going to dump the ball on the ground more often.
Agree.
Watch Mar hit the ball. He accelerates those short swings. His racket moves faster as it goes into it, and he doesn't miss very much. As Montoya hits a filthy right corner forehand splat there. That's world class. For
You
the
know
world
what?
champion.
I gotta say, I don't blame Andre Parrilla for trying that out. You know the reason why he gave a lob to the middle to
100%.
Montoya?
Yeah.
He's want to test him if he's healed or not, if he's healthy or not. Speaking of hands again.
Yep. And one thing to note at home too, and this is more technical side, a ceiling ball down the middle takes a certain shot away, and that's the splat, right?
Yep.
You have to hit a really tight pinch, as you see Montoya hit a perfect one, but that's a very difficult high-level shot to hit. And again, you see that impact through the ball. He's very quick through it. He doesn't slow down. He doesn't try to tap it. It's still full swing, just not full
But
power.
it's just not that, Bobby. It's the fact that Mar is in the right place
Correct.
at the right time.
His awareness is better than
Most.
98% of the world, if not the best. Like, he's a world champion for a reason. And we have our first match point for the second spot in the finals, 14 serving 5. Oh,
You know, I don't blame Montoya for trying that out. You know, he has a comfortable and commanding lead. Do not blame him for it.
hey, you got to go for it, right? And I was just going to say my time here on the network here is short-lived here with the match point already. Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
Difference
Deadly.
between the shot before and that one is he swung through the ball. Again, that word
True.
acceleration. If you guys can take anything and learn something from this, is that idea. Ooh, good serve.
Wow. Great ball control.
Oh, he did
And-
not get to the ball. I thought he made
No,
it for a
no,
second there.
he
Yeah.
you know, he tried to put a racket on, could not believe. So match point again. Now Mar, first server. And there it is. Mar, Montoya beat Fernandez and Parrilla with the numbers of 15-13, 15-5, and advance to the final tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time versus Conrado Moscoso and Roland Keller. Want to thank you, Bobby Horn, for joining us here at the booth. Producer Fabio Faje, Dean Bear, tremendous effort with the whole team. Of course, Coach Fran Davis will also join us for a few matches here. And we will be back tomorrow with live action. We start tomorrow first, Bobby, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with the men's singles final between Andre Parrilla and Kane Wazelenchuk. Bobby, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you. Everybody have a great night.
Everybody, good night from Super Saturday from Lilburn, Georgia, the 2022 Suivant Consulting IRT Pro-Am. Good night.